Today's episode is brought to you by Bush's Fresh Food Market. Calling all foodies, Bush's is hiring. Are you passionate about food, looking for growth, development, and excellent wages? Come grow with Bush's and apply online at bushes.com/join our team. That's Bush's, BUSCHS.com/join our team.
From the Detroit Free Press, I'm Emma Stein with today's Free Press Voice Briefing. It's Wednesday, August 17th, 2022.
I'm Dave Boucher with the Detroit Free Press. A battle over 317 words could decide whether abortion remains legal in Michigan for years to come. Those words make up the proposed amendment that would enshrine abortion rights in the Michigan Constitution if voters approve it later this fall. While there are a few procedural hurdles left to clear, it's expected the proposal will make it onto the general election ballot. That's given rise to questions, or attacks, on what the new language would mean if approved. Supporters say it provides similar protections to those afforded under Roe v. Wade, but opponents argue it's an extreme measure. We spoke with experts about a few key concerns raised by critics. The amendment does create an unambiguous right for minors to seek abortion. That means it could effectively undo a current state law that requires parental consent for abortions. But Leah Littman, a University of Michigan law professor, noted lawmakers are still able to regulate rights when it comes to minors. She said, quote, "You have a right to a handgun. That doesn't mean a 10-year-old can buy a handgun." Critics also say the amendment would open the door to risky abortions or those performed very late in a pregnancy. Advocates say both are unlikely. Less than 0.2% of the total abortions performed in Michigan in 2021 occurred in the third trimester. Supporters did not go as far as to say such abortions would be banned, but noted healthcare providers have an obligation to follow ethical and medical norms. The full text of the proposed amendment is available at freep.com. The general election is November 8th.
I'm Susan Tompor, and I'm a columnist at the Detroit Free Press. We still have 2 months of inflation data to go for August and September, but right now, experts see a sizable increase in Social Security benefits on the horizon for next year. We can thank surging inflation. Those collecting Social Security benefits might be able to look forward to a Social Security payout that's roughly 8% to 9% higher in 2023, based on some early estimates. It might even add up to an extra $1,800 a year. On average, we might be talking about an extra $150 a month. That's if there's a 9% increase. That's based on an example if your current benefits were around $1,656 a month. We're looking at the possibility of one of the highest COLAs ever paid in the history of the program. Richard Johnson, director of the Program on Retirement Policy at the Urban Institute, said no one can say for certain how much Social Security benefits will increase next year at this point. If one assumes, though, that energy prices continue to decline in August and September, as they did in July, Johnson estimates that next year's COLA payout would be around 8.7%. But if energy prices just hold steady for the next 2 months, he said, the COLA hike could be around 9.3%. The increase will help seniors a lot, he said, especially those who depend the most on Social Security. But he also noted that this adjustment only gets seniors back to where they were at the beginning of the year before prices really took off. Every time prices increase in 2023, he said, seniors will continue to fall behind.
I'm Kirkland Crawford with the Free Press Sports Department, previewing the big week for the Detroit Lions. Sure, they play their second preseason game on Saturday against the Indianapolis Colts down in the Circle City, but the big tests will be today and Thursday for the joint practices among the two squads. The plan is for the Lions to give their starters quite a few reps during the practices and, well, leave the exhibition game to the backups and players fighting for a roster spot. If you watched any of the first preseason game on Friday against Atlanta at Ford Field, the big question marks hovering over the defense, especially the linebackers and secondary, proved to be warranted. But the Lions' first-team offense looked, well, better than advertised. Our Dave Burkett is with the team in Indianapolis, and we'll have plenty of updates from the practice fields and all the way through Saturday's 60 Minutes at Lucas Oil Stadium.
For more stories from the Detroit Free Press, Be sure to check out freep.com. That's FREEP.com. I'll see you tomorrow.